Tomorrow, K-Gun 9 Shawndrea Thomas talks to Good Morning America about how her investigation helped the mother get answers. Tomorrow on GMA.
And now we're moving from Northwest Fire to Tucson Fire. The Tucson City Council is considering a ban on the use and disposal of a certain firefighting foam within city limits. During last week's study session, Council member Steve Kozacic directed city staff to draft an ordinance banning the use and disposal of the fluorinated foam. Kozacic wants the ban because the foam contains a toxic compound that has contaminated water wells in Tucson in the past.
We may not be able to tell the state and the federal government what they can buy and what they can use.
Back in 2018, 2 water wells near Davis-Monthan were shut down after they were contaminated with the toxins. They were immediately shut down, and Kozacic says city attorneys have 30 days to draft an ordinance. After that, the topic will be brought up in a meeting. And the holidays can be tough for people who can't go home and be with their family, and that's why one local hotel is making sure no one is alone for the next 2 days. Not on your size, Veronica Vernaccio shows us how Hotel McCoy's holiday safe space became a reality. Our Natalie Tarangeli is live in southeast Tucson, where the thunder, lightning, and rain have been fierce, and now people are seeing a lot of damage. Natalie, what are you seeing?
And Shawndrea, how are they reacting to the measure going down?
Well, people have been in pretty good spirits here so far. I mean, even though they got the news that they didn't, that the proposition didn't pass. But let me just show you some of the folks out here. They're still hanging out. This watch party started at about 7 o'clock here at St. Charles Tavern.
Arizona's unemployment rate dropped 1/10 of a percentage point last month, and it now stands at 4.7% after adding more than 34,000 jobs in November. The State Office of Economic Opportunity says 3 million people were employed in non-farm jobs over the month. That's about 2.5% from October. Now, the business sector also added more jobs in trade, transportation, and in utilities. Well, Kyler Diggs is here with a look at the weekend forecast. So my question for you is this.
Okay.
Jacket or no jacket?
Well, probably need a jacket during the overnight hours and the early morning, but boy, in the afternoon, it's going to be.
All right. There's a lot of stuff happening here at the Comic-Con. Now, you can see you can actually get comic books, you can get toys, anything you can think of if you're a comic book connoisseur. Also, check this out. These little kids are having a costume contest out here. I'm thinking there's some Halloween costumes getting reused.
Ted DeGrazia's unique Southwestern and Mexican style still brings thousands of visitors to his gallery in the sun 37 years after his death. And tonight, Not on Your Side's Pat Paris has a rare look inside of his gallery on Swan near Skyline and shows us what makes it absolutely Arizona. Yuma County voters have said no to higher taxes in the past, but one local organization is asking voters to rethink their stance on higher taxes. Officials say Jordan Sims claimed that a Safford police officer sexually assaulted her, and now that officer is on administrative leave. Sonu Wasu has the latest on the case. Tonight, a Tucson City Councilman says he's opening his doors to help migrants when they need a place to stay. President Donald Trump is expected to sign a new bill that cracks down on robocalls, and it requires your phone carrier to do most of the work. The bill says they have to use new technology to screen out suspicious numbers. It also requires them to block robocalls without charging you. A new report says the average American receives 15 unwanted calls per month. And the impeachment process is now moving forward as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sets a date for when the articles will be sent to the Senate. Hear from both sides on what they're pushing. Continuing coverage now on Maricopa County Assessor Paul Peterson's alleged adoption scheme. The woman who helped him, Linwood Jennett, pleaded guilty to 4 felonies this week. Attorney General Mark Brnovich says she helped bring expectant mothers from the Marshall Islands to Arizona, where they were being paid big money to give up their babies. Once the mothers arrived, she set them up with a place to stay so they could qualify for Arizona's Medicaid program to pay for the birth.
I'm not going to comment anything specific on the Paul Peterson case.
And as part of her plea deal, the remaining 45 counts against her were dropped. Tonight we have an update on a man who's been battling City Hall to save his property because vagrants literally took it over. Last month we told you about Glenn Wolfgang and how his property on East Mojave Road was ruined while he was out of town working. After years of trying to fix it up, he says vagrants continue to tear down his repairs. On October 23rd, the city finally told him that he had to get the property up to code or they would tear it down. The homeless homeowner went to court and found out that his time is almost up.
I thank the board and the city for looking at what's going on. And
Glenn says he has 60 days to decide on trying to get his home in shape or let the city demo the property and put a $42,000 lien on the land. We'll keep an eye on the outcome and let you know what happens next. Well, there are families in Tucson who are struggling to meet the financial demands of day-to-day life, and some worry about how they will find a gift for their kids on Christmas morning. Well, the Salvation Army stepped in to help today, and it's their annual toy giveaway for low-income families. Workers say about 1,500 families signed up to receive toys, adding up to 4,000 kids.
I'm getting so many emails.
The Salvation Army is still collecting toy donations at their hospitality house on Main Avenue. They're in need of toys for boys ages 6 to 8, like soccer balls and footballs.
Mountain snow on the way.
Okay, I'll keep my warm drinks and my snuggly blankets and my Santa
Hot
hat.
chocolate with this hat.
Yes,
Be good.
sounds good. Have a good night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.